Okay, so blessed good morning, everyone. Greetings and salutations. So I must apologize. So I will be sometime looking at my phone and looking at the camera. The thing is, one is StreamYard to YouTube, and the other is the other is Facebook Live to Facebook Live from my phone. So yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work out. I'm gonna test it out, but So welcome back to the Verandah Conversations. My name is Antoine Valier, and if you're new, and if you're on YouTube watching, please subscribe, comment, and just any questions you want to ask me in the Q&A, basically, right? Um, Another important thing, you can always comment for those who are always watching. I kind of change the time to 11. I normally do it at 10. Yeah, so tell me which one works best. Tell me. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of more easier working with 11. Like, I get more time to, wake up, the whole work, wake up, work, get ready, stuff like do stuff, basically. So, welcome to Verandah Conversation. My name is Anthony Valier. Again, welcome. What's the Verandah Conversations about? It's basically, as I say, on a veranda having conversations about different topics. So far I've only interviewed one person. That's kind of sad. I mean, I have a lot of people who could possibly be interviewed, but I guess people like hearing me talk by myself. I don't know, but it would be much better to have conversations with everyone. It make more sense. But yeah, you can always. Most people like to comment below. I guess not everyone want to be on video, right? And before I start in my topic, I want to give thanks. And I'm always going to come on and give thanks because, I've been getting a lot of support in terms of prayer, people reaching out, messages, sorry, in different ways, encouragement. Even recently, I did a poem and I needed someone to edit something, and I started reaching out and, hey, what's up? Bless up. So, and Malachi Smith, he was like, no problem, I'm busy, but I'll definitely help you out. So big up to him. Whoa, everybody tuning in. Big up Jeremy. And I'm not seeing let me see if this, okay. I'm not seeing nobody. I can see when people come out, I'm not seeing their names. So I've just assumed their names. Anyways, so yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, send me a wave. Send me a wave if you're on. So Jeremy, and big up yourself. And so he reached out and he assisted. So later after I'm finished, I'll re-edit that poem again and then submit it. It's a big thing, right? And also, wow, it has been a busy week. It's a recap I'm going to do before I jump into the topic, because I have to big up all the individuals who have been assisting me, giving me the support, love, you know what I mean? So we always appreciate that. In terms of, recently I was interviewed by the Migrant, and I just want to big up the Migrant online. That's a online magazine. And I found out about the Migrant through Noreen Snyder. So big her up. She's from out of America. And I want to really get to know about Noreen, really. Gracia. Big up Gracia. All I got to know about her. Hey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting everyone. So I get to know about her. I think it's either by Max Wanet or Amazai the Great. You'll probably hear me mention these names regularly. So yeah, they are my poet friends, but they are actually very good supporters. And I want to big up Andre Robinson as well. He's like I think he's the first person to ever buy my book when I went to UA. It's, I look back and I'm like, wow. Like I told this guy, like I write book, and he was like, how much, like what's the cost? And I told him, and we took pictures, and and that was just beautiful. And I wasn't even anything big then, or I didn't or anything like that. He was just like, yeah, I'll support, and that's just beautiful to me. And recently we were reminiscing basically, and I was like, yo, you're one of the realest G. You supported, and I remember other people gave other support in different, because that's the thing, support don't come one way. So support can be watching my show, sharing it, even watching my videos, commenting, reading different, like my interview, stuff like that. Can even be a case where somebody, like sees something with poetry. Like I get people all the time, they will just tag me in posts like, oh, I saw this with poetry, and I know you're into poetry, so check it out. Sometimes they didn't even read like the thing, like we might say it's not my age group, but I was like, that's cool, because I will definitely share it with the younger ones. Let me see if I can pronounce his name. Inique. Is it Inique? Renique? Ariat? Tell me if I pronounce that right. Like, I apologize. Inique? Renique? Ariat. I think I did. Tell me if I pronounce your name correctly. Thanks for tuning in. So, yeah, big up Andre Robinson. And definitely big up Jamaicans.com. They're an online magazine, and I think they're one of the biggest. The highlights Jamaicans who are doing well. They are one of the few that are, sharing the positivity. And sometimes you don't even know, like, so much positivity is going on, because like there's a swarm of negativity going. Like negativity gets, like, it goes viral sometimes more than other niceness. So you can check out Jamaicans.com. And so big up Xavier Murphy. He's like the founder, and he's on my page. Like anything happens, he's like messaging me and stuff. I think they have interviewed me. I wrote articles on there around 4 times. Like that's a lot, to be honest. So big them up. And of course, you, the viewers, the fans, everybody, the family, Facebook family, YouTube family, for tuning in and supporting whatever way you can. And I definitely appreciate that. And I've seen the comments in regards to the photos. I've seen the comments in regards to the articles. Some of them I don't know if I should take credit for, like the Jamaicans.com. They did their research and wrote their article. Terms of the migrant, no, yeah, definitely those were my own words. What else? Did I miss anything? So, anyways, we'll get into it. So we're going to talk about subliminal messages, or conditioning. Now, every human being on earth is conditioned a certain way, or we're programmed, or we're trained. It's not always something negative, and I know it have like a negative connotation. The time I hear the word conditioning, like there's this negativity to it, some way, right? But it's not always negative, because you can have positive and negative conditioning. But the one that I'm going to speak about is, it's like negative. I don't want too much lean on negativity, but I mean, that's like taking over the airwaves, and it's taking over social media. And I realize, for example, that the movies, especially that we watch, and I can speak for myself, and probably, I don't know, but I think most Jamaicans, we grew up watching, like, even though we always hear about, be careful what you watch, what you drink, what you see, and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, we all grew up watching like scary movie, horror movie. Um, I know I did. I watched all types of horror. The only things that I did not watch was we call it blue movie, but actually, a sex movie, like, porn, stuff like that. I didn't watch those things. That was definitely not allowed in my house. But every other genre of movie, I did watch. And when I think about it, I'm like, I would watch, like, I remember and I've watched like Twilight, Alfred Hitchcock, everything with him. I've watched Esther. I've watched, Chucky. All of the series them with Chucky. Um, or the other ones I can't remember. Saw. I watch like Saw. I watch. I mean, any scary movie you can think of. Like that was. I don't know. That was like the time everybody was watching them. Everything was on the street, man. Like you hear people talking about it. Did you watch Saw? And I watched it. And you know what's so funny? Even some cartoons. It's like when I get older now. It's like I start to pre-bought these things that I watch. And I'm like, whoa, there's things that I didn't see, Richard Stewart, big up yourself. Delroy Pottinger, big up everybody. Send you guys a wave. So I look back and I'm like, how did I miss that? But I guess, when you're young and you don't know, lack of knowledge, them say the people perish. Most definitely. Because now I am watching things and immediately I can, like the minute I watch it, I can know like, hey, this movie is not for me because I'm seeing, people might call it discernment of spirit or, third eye, spiritual, all these things people call it. Now they call it like woke culture. Like there's so much terms for it now. But I can watch movie, I can listen music, and I can immediately pick up. It's spiritual. You can immediately pick up like there's some dark things to it. Like, you start to see symbols and signs that you didn't even notice before. And of course, everybody gonna have their own opinion. Them don't, believe in this and them don't believe in that. But I've proven certain things for myself. I remember one time I went on YouTube and I heard a music, right? I heard a song and I was searching on YouTube for it. Like the title, like I didn't hear, like I heard some like a sentence, like so I used it. I was like I trying to find the song, right? And then I went on YouTube and I saw like this song came up, and then I saw like the singer on it, but I'm like, this person looks scary, right? But I still went and click on it, and anyways, I tell no lies. The minute I click, it took like literal 5 seconds. I felt like I was demon possessed. I swear. Like is one of those famous singer, just be. And I didn't know of him at the time, but I went into one of his songs and like it hit me. I was like, that never happened to me before. I was like, I looked at it and I was like, man, this man's demon possessed. Like it's weird. Immediate, and you can know, something can enter you and that it's not good. And it's one of those moments. And I was like, whoa. And I hear people listening, and I'm not judging people on their choice of song or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like you just know. And I'm like, this person is like famous, and they have millions of people listening. And I'm like, can't just imagine listening to this person daily. How many demons are entering you? And some of these singers, they're openly, they tell you that they're Satanists. They tell you that they serve Lucifer. Whether people believe in the Bible or God or whatever, like every person on planet Earth know or is aware of Lucifer, and there's nothing good ever said about him. So it's surprising to me where all of a sudden it's like it becomes so accepted. Like people are coming out boldly and saying, I worship Lucifer. They're singing it on songs. They come out on stage and they sing it. And then everyone listen, like no one like of course, like when you see somebody object, normally it's like a Christian. But generally from that, like you always see this Christian person who always objects. They always quoting the Bible or something. But I'm like the rest of the public, like where are you at? Like all this woke, where are you woke people, right? And so I'm like, and it comes in different form. That's what I'm realizing now. Like you're even watching cartoons. Like cartoons is like this innocent. I mean, cartoons never been innocent, but you get what I mean. Like probably in a child's eye, it's innocent because I remember watching, for example, when you think about it, like Popeyes and all those, nice cartoons that they watch. I never noticed that he always had a pipe in his mouth. I just didn't notice. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was too caught up with, Popeye and eating spinach and, him getting bulk up and strong and trying to always save Olive all the time. Like I really got caught. And I guess because maybe, I don't think it's just because I'm a poet. I think naturally, I think my brain was not developed. I think most of us, we saw what was portrayed to us. We weren't able to see beyond. You weren't able to start thinking there's a spiritual element to it. You just watch it for fun, which is what I did, like most people. So I'm watching Popeyes and all those things, or Tom and Jerry. I'm not too taking too much note into every detail, like who's smoking cigarette, or are questioning everything. Okay, and like for example, you will say, they get burned up, which mean death in the cartoon, but them still come back alive. Like them have 9 lives. It's just hilarious looking back now. But that was just that. But now that I'm older and I'm more mature, I can, watch a movie and start to think like I still enjoy it. So I'm not saying people shouldn't enjoy a movie. But I start to think like, what's the agenda of this movie? Like, and why I'm thinking this way now is because producers, directors, and writers, they're the ones now. They're like changing the script on us. They're not making movies enjoyable or family oriented anymore. Everything is following this one theme. If people are not noticing, I hear people talking about the Squid Games, right? I have not watched it, so I don't want to give a review since I've not watched it. It would not make any sense. But I've heard people talking about it, and practically every person I've said it's violent, and I've heard people like describe like what's happening, right? And it sounds to me, so you might be wrong. For like, tell me, like for those who watch it, you can tell me based on what I'm hearing from reviews from other people. It sounds just like Saw or something like that. Saw, Hunger Games, and there was this other movie that I watched many years ago, before I saw on Hunger Games. Like I think it was the first of its type in terms of that, where if I can remember correctly, it's basically, there's a bunch of rich men especially, and they are going to like bet. They're going to be like in a room, and I remember that they were kidnapping people to put them like in. I think it was like in a jungle place, and it's literally it was a game, and they have different levels and stuff like that. But obviously, it was a survival thing, so you had to kill somebody, I believe. It was very bloody, and though the rich men in the room, they would be betting on who would die or who would survive. I don't know if you have ever watched that movie. I don't remember the name of that movie. I might have to, and it was, trust me, that was pretty violent. Like people getting shot, like they were starving, like some crazy stuff. So I hear people talk about the Squid Games, for example, and it sounds pretty similar to to those 3 type of movies that I watched: Saw, Hunger Games, and that movie, right? And they all follow kind of a similar theme. You know what I mean? And not to mention The Purge. Like that's whoever watched The Purge, that's like a very crazy movie. I've watched both. I think it's two. Is it two version of it? I believe I've watched more than one, to be honest, right? And I'm thinking, I'm admiring the creativity of people who write these scripts and movies, but at the same time, like, whoa, your mind is well beyond and above, and I guess what's going on. And it come back to what I'm talking about now. Why these movies are. So imagine Squid Game, for example. I said I've not watched it, but every single person I've said it's violent and it's very deadly. And just imagine it's the number one movie or number one thing being watched worldwide by billions of people. I get it, people's interests are peaked, but at the same time, you start to wonder, will this, I see it as a form of subliminal conditioning. Sooner or later, people will be other things will happen, and then people, it will not matter because you get used to it. It's just like crime and violence in Jamaica. People are so used to crime and violence, like it's the norm. It's getting normalized now. And I realize even with the phones, like, something's happening to someone, and instead of people assisting, they take out their phone to video it so they can, post it up on Facebook or YouTube to get millions of likes to go viral. It's just, to me, very strange. You can definitely tell me what your opinion is about that. In regards to the woke culture, I mean, I was definitely following everybody who was saying that they were woke, and it came as this spiritual movement that, people were seeing beyond what was there. And then all of a sudden, like, there's like this disdain for the woke culture because, I mean, when it comes, anything that comes to people, even if something good and, people is a part of it, like, multiple people are going to have their own opinions. You're going to have people who are extremists. You're going to have different type of people, and there are different view of things. It's just like Christianity. Every time I hear people talk about Christianity, I like to ask them which denomination they're talking about. And if you don't know, Jamaica is leading in denomination. So it's amazing. You will meet somebody, right? And this is the question that I dislike. Like, people like to ask some questions, and the question itself, there's nothing wrong with the question. It's just that the meaning behind the question. So you meet somebody, and the first thing they ask you, even before they ask if you're a Christian or anything like that, what church you go. I always find it funny. And if you tell them which church you go, I like the church and ring a bell to like them can't figure out the denomination, they might blatantly ask. Them ask you subtle, like them ask you. So is a Adventist church? Or you be like, no. Or they be like, oh, it's a Sunday church. And I'm like, why are people so caught up with small things? That's why I tell people that I'm a Christ follower. And I know people have them different opinion about, Christ and the Bible, especially when it comes to Black people. We all have a different opinion, get me? But listen what I'm saying. Why I say I'm a Christ follower? Because if you follow the Bible, right, and follow the teachings of Christ, yes, you say in a division. The division. Man-made, we create division and all these things. Says we come up with all them rules and regulation to put us back into slavery. To me, all of these things are part of enslavement. You can't go in a church because you're here and this and you're that and that. And the Bible don't tell us several parts. Come as you are, You see me? There's different scriptures that tell you, right? We don't go off tangent, but here so when I start to watch the narrative, and people like to talk about the narrative. What is this narrative that people talking about? I was listening to I don't want to mispronounce her name, but that famous African novelist. I should probably, I don't want, and she was talking about the single story, and basically don't allow people to write your story, and don't allow people to control the narrative. And so, we always go back in terms of the history books. Everybody in school, we have some history books where it passed on from generation to generation. All we have to read that history book, and then when we check it out, it's written by European writers. The problem is not so much that it's written by European writers. The issue is that it is the first book that you read. And so you get for them opinion, you get for them viewpoint. You don't get a balance. And you say, where are the Caribbean writers? Where are the African writers? Probably long after you leave school, you realize there's other books that you can read, but you never get that in a school. You see me? Because that is also a conditioning. You're conditioned at school in a certain way, a conditioned thinking. There's a way that you must think. Now they're trying to change the narrative now, in the sense that they're saying that it's almost like you get quarrel, they might cuss you. Because we have been trained in such a way, and now they're saying that we are not thinking critically. But we were never allowed to think critically. You know what I mean? From I was going to school, the teacher teach, you listen, and you write down. And you regurgitate back everything where the teachers tell you into exam. If you want to deviate, and I remember once I deviated, it was history. It always going to be history. And I remember he was talking about Columbus. I didn't even know that this would have been like a discussion outside of me, because, I didn't know at the time. But I heard the teacher say, oh, Christopher Columbus discovered, Jamaica. But at the same time, she told about the Tianos and them people. So I said to her, miss, okay, and Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica if people under there already. And she has to tell me, said, that the book say. But me, I reason it out and I said, but even though the book said that, like, the meaning, the word discover, like, me think it have a different meaning. So me, I was arguing with the teacher, and she dismissed me and told me something to shut up pretty much. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I was very enthusiastic about learning. And I just enthralled by history somehow. I just love history. All of my classmates them can tell us, I was one of the, and at once I was like the best history student, but I was among, because I always asking questions and be sure what heap of enthusiasm, even if the class is boring. You see, me always ask one bag of question. Even university, me always ask one bag of question. So sometimes even my classmate, like, come school today, it's the class they boring, because we not have you for ask the one bag of questions for pressure professor them. So yeah, so now when we get older now, me I hear say, that is a thing that is being dismantled, because in Kenya, so recently America celebrated Columbus Day, and of course I saw one of my brethren, Omar, big up yourself, in America, a poet, was saying that him not celebrate Columbus Day, most definitely, because who is Columbus? Columbus never discovered no way. And him not know why black people celebrate that. You know what I mean? So these are things of conditioning. So we are conditioned to think that, Columbus discover, and we run with this, and we forget our own history. And it's the same thing with movies. While movies and those things are for enjoyment, at the same time there's a narrative, because every movie is just like a novel or a short story. You have to write it in a story. It's a story. And when it go in a movies, it have a great impact, because whatever you're watching, I can definitely tell you, say, growing up and what I was watching, it definitely had an impact on me as a child. Thank God even though I watch horror movies and that not good, but at the same time, I did watch a lot of educational cartoons. I was still steered on the right path. Probably my mom just didn't know any better in her, because she was watching it as well. So and as I said, that was the thing. And but as I said, we get older now and we get wiser. So certain things I don't watch. Even if it gone viral, everybody I watch it, I refuse to watch it, because they don't hear say your nose, your mouth, your ears is a gateway. Your eyes though is a gateway to your soul. And a lot of people hear that and then wonder. Because the truth of the fact is that anywhere there's an opening in your body, anywhere there's opening, it's internal. So anything external can enter internally. And you try to understand that. So any opening, and so anything you watch, anything you eat, anything you see, anything you speak, anything you drink, those things all have an effect on your body, whether you want to believe or not. I mean, there's proof to it. People can always, disagree to agree. But I have proven these things. And you can go ahead and prove these things for your own self. And you're not even for move far, because, for example, food. Them say food is medicine. And definitely food now is causing a lot of havoc in our body. because of the GMO, genetically modified food. All of these things are part of the narrative. They're all conditioning. I was focusing on most on movies, but it comes full circle in everything when we start to talk about conditioning, start to talk about subliminal messages. Music videos is another thing. And, I believe Malcolm X said it best, that media is one of the most dangerous entity on planet Earth, because you can turn a guilty man innocent and an innocent man guilty. And we are seeing it live today. Social media, geez, if a store bursts, right, and it comes on social media, we don't have with jury, judge, and executioner on social media. And when them done with it, you're guilty, all if you're innocent. Them decide already. So it is being proven that media really have that power. In terms of news and stuff like that. Like right now, yeah, you have to be on a level where you open up yourself to watch various type of news to really get the news. If you get what I mean. Because if you stick to one news, them have them own agenda. And that news station, they have them agenda. And for example, in Jamaica, where everybody knows that every media house and every news station is aligned to a different political party. And that's how it go. So sometimes I see people, we gone, the different news media them and them complain. And I say, but some happened yesterday and it's a big thing. How comes I don't see it post up yet and I see this post up? But I already know what going on. So it's just a part of the thing, So, and it's just amazing, especially when the woke culture. I used to follow it up and say, whoa, because I saw people making a lot of sense. But now it seemed like it disintegrated now and it gone away till I see people are bash the woke culture, because some people who are claim to them woke, what them woke with, and them have this opinion about that, and people at war and some craziness going on. I for one, and I've said this many times on this show, and I will forever say it, that I listen to people and I listen to people opinion and them reasoning, and no one are bigger than reasoning, and no one are bigger than knowledge, and no man plan planet Earth of all knowledge, and no man plan planet. And when I say man, I mean mankind. So don't think say me I left out woman. I'm a woman, so but so, and I was saying to my mom recently, it's amazing that you can meet a 8-year-old who have more experience than somebody with 60. It's not age that determines experience and knowledge. You know what I mean? So you can meet somebody who is 15 and you listen, because I've been around a lot of young people. Some even some 5-year-old, like, yeah, them people we are born nowadays, them not normal for knowledge. Sometimes I listen to them reason. What heap of things them know. You know what I mean? And you meet somebody who was 60. And when we say things them know, I know people always say, oh, technology I talk about. No, no, no. I'm talking about like them understand certain things in life already. It frightening. You know what I mean? Them understand certain things, like them can actually sit down and talk to you about politics. Them can talk to you about religion. They can. And we always have the saying, say, children shall lead you, and it's true. I've seen it. Children shall lead you, and it's just amazing. So the condition, and I want to share this thing that happened many years ago, and it was I remember it, right, when I started thinking about conditioning and the subliminal messages. I remember when many years ago, my mom was watching this film. This, I don't remember. He's dead now, I believe. This pastor man, he was always talking about like prophecy, and he's a Jamaican. He was always talking about prophecy and like the supernatural and the spiritual and all them things. And I remember one day we were watching him and he was speaking about, those things that we like to collect in terms of like the pictures. For example, You know, like some people have like the Jesus pictures and, you know, different things. And he was giving off an experience of, he had a picture with a lady in the picture and she was dancing, right? And I will say, whoa, somebody that dancing on the picture, what am I talking about? Or, you know, you ever see, like, sometimes you might say the picture follow you and stuff like, some people might say it's a mind thing. But as I tell you, my mother had some of these things. My mother said, "Shadow check." And sure as me can tell you, me see it for myself. Like if me ever see it for myself, no one believe. I see that she had this picture and there was a lady, like a Hawaiian lady, and I tell her say, like for a good while, cause we are watch a picture, you know. You see me, I watch a picture and the picture still, and then it's like walk off. And I saw a movement. So I turn back and I say, I walk on. Then I see it stay one way. And then I come and then I saw him to like we forget about it. And one day I remember going in a room and I just saw him to look and I saw the lady dancing. So I start rub me come and say, asleep or this not real. I saw the lady dancing away. And I was like, what that picture? I know one of them, you know, I know like a 3D picture. At that time, we didn't even know anything about that. I don't know if that had existed back then. So I take time and I come out and I call my mother and I say, no, so the lady in there dance with you. And she said, lady, what you talk about? I'm telling her, me and her sleep back, you know, she saw it. Yeah, man, my mother take out that picture there and burn it same time. She had a Jesus picture too. She burned that picture there too. You see me? Because we start realizing that the eyes start follow you. Trust me, I don't know mine are mental or not what people always count these things as real as they. I can share some experience with you. And people have seen it. And I'm telling you, man, like some things like from them time my eyes open up. I'm start to see certain things. When I start watch certain movies, I start to see certain symbols that people make. And when they start to do their own research. There's even this artist named K Rhino. You know, for those people who love to listen to rap, if you listen to K Rhino, that rapper is like one of them all-time rapper there. He would tell you everything from the US dollar to the history to everything. He speaks about those things that you can do your research on everything that he's saying in terms of the different symbols. I know I don't know why people are saying that these things don't exist, but I mean, symbols have always exist and they always have them importance. Like, how can we survive in the world without symbols? They do maths and there are symbols and it function. You know what I mean? We go out on the road and there are symbols and there are signs. They serve purpose. So I'm not sure why there wouldn't be symbols in movies and there wouldn't be symbols in you know, shows and music. Why is it people are hard to believe? Because symbols are, you know, messages that you kind of you have to see. It's when it form out, and you know, and you can interpret. And some of them you don't even need a major interpretation because the meaning is already out there. So I'm not sure why people like depend this big discussion about it. So we're really talking about subliminal messages, and what I'm really concerned about is our youngsters. I'm always want to be concerned about them. They are the ones who are left alone or left up to themselves to be watching any and anything without adult supervision. You know what I mean? Them get to tune in on YouTube and watch anything. Ever hear about the dark web? It exists. You know what I mean? Them got to them and there was a couple of years back in Jamaica where several individuals went on YouTube. I don't know what they was watching, but people were getting off. And it was actually a big thing in Jamaica where several schools people were getting off and things were just happening crazy at school. And I hear that they were watching some YouTube video. And you might be wondering, huh? Watching a YouTube video and it's causing that effect. I mean, there's things out there like just like how I'm talking to you right now, right? And you're watching and it's just video. it's having an effect on you. But normally it's a case of positivity. Like people say, oh, I watched a video and boy, I was, inspired, and it started that discussion. So, it can have that impact, and it can have that effect on people. It's just like, music. Like, I mean, I watch music videos on, YouTube, and it touch you. I watch people interviews and you start crying. And watch a movie and you start crying. Because, emotions, it can break pretty much anything. So not even a screen can stop emotion. When you watch something, I've watched the first time you watch Celine, what that movie the name? Titanic. Like that's one of like the all-time movies for people. Like if you never see all your brother them cry, probably one. But then I don't know if people still cry over it now. But I know when it just came out, like people are in tears. I know sports have that effect, like football, like people literally, when them team lose, they don't want to talk to nobody. Them will all stay hungry. Them are probably going to depression, like it that serious. So I mean, all these things have major impact on individuals. It's not something that is impossible, but big up everyone, most definitely. I just want people to fully be aware, not just because we're in a pandemic and everybody all of a sudden them say them eyes open up. You don't need a pandemic for your eyes to be open up. Your eyes. I mean, of course, we are in different journey of our lives because I don't know all of things, and I am learning from a lot of elders. Because we always have to learn from each other. You know what I mean? But in terms of protecting your soul and really try to be aware of what you're listening and what you're watching and what you're intaking will do a lot of wonders for people. Because even with this pandemic, I was saying it to my mom, like, probably fear and fright might kill people more than the COVID-19 itself, because people, there's so much opinions about the vaccines and the unvaccinated and the COVID-19, like the abundance of information, and also the bombardness of it. Like my phone alone, if you're not mentally strong, like you're more like every single person sending you information. To me, fear might kill you more than like actually catching the virus. It's possible, right? You have to be mentally strong. And I know today the Real Stuff podcast, we got Real Stuff podcast team. They're talking about mental illness. You can definitely check them out on YouTube. I think that is one of the biggest topic now. Mental illness. It has become like the number one topic because people really going crazy. Yeah, not because mental illness come in different ways, but it's affecting people in so many ways. Depression, all type of things. Bipolar, you can name it. So people, especially sports, they're the ones who, I don't know if they're the first to talk about it, but they are definitely the ones campaigning about mental illness. I've spoken about it myself in terms of the little ones, like they're saying that they need them to go back to school, and I'm thinking, yeah, go back to school and you prepare the environment. But also, I think they need a psychologist. I think that the little ones need someone who's a professional to talk to about what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some of them don't know what's probably hear about this pandemic and but don't know fully what's going on. Especially if they have been out of school for around 2 3 years now. I mean, there's some serious detachment and social anxiety issues that are happening right there. So, because if adults, I see where adults are struggling, like them can't stay at them yard. Everybody have to go some party or them, even church people, like literally. Crystal Edwards, big up yourself. King Wagwan, big up. Like every single person know, like if them don't go some party, them don't do something, like them don't know how they must survive, because a lot of people are extroverted. Them I don't know. Like I guess because I'm an introvert, it's not affecting me like other people. Like me have too much things to do and I still talk to people. And yeah, I might go to a one and two neighbor house. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be honest, it's not affecting me. Like how I see people literally like if them not go party. I know things affect people in different ways. But I'm just gonna be honest with people. Like I'm not gonna come up here and lie, like say, like it affect me. It not affect me that much. It's affecting me financially, yes. The pandemic and other things. And yes, I miss people. Remain, big up yourself. I miss people, of course. I miss, hanging out with people. I miss, going to the restaurants. I miss moving freely because we are conditioned and, in a way. But at the same time, I kind of understand. So I'm just following protocol, and obviously everybody have their own rules about if this is, is restricting our rights and stuff like that. I do think that every good intention have ulterior motives. That's just my opinion. I just believe that this, at the same time, you must follow the rules and follow all the health protocols. But at the same time, I feel like it's a trial run in terms whether people, as I said, whether people believe in the Armageddon, all of them something there. But I feel like it's a trial run for when, because right now people are denied jobs. You can't go in no place without mask, right? Mask is your entry. So I'm just thinking that the Bible, as I said, people don't believe in the Bible, but I mean, we can't deny this. The Bible was written so many years ago, and yet it gives this one point where it says, you will not able to buy food, and you're not able to do this without the mark. And I'm saying like the mask to me, I'm not saying that's what it is, No, so I'm not one of them people who are jumping and say, oh, I mark of the beast thing, whatever. What I'm saying is that mark of the beast, in my opinion, have always been on planet Earth with us. Because mark of the beast is not one thing. It is multiple thing in system. So the very, very credit card that they use is part of it. Everything will come as one. So I'm not going to be thinking, oh, mark of the beast is here. And it's have always been here, in my opinion, based on, if you read the Bible carefully and how it explains itself to me, it tells you that everything, all of these things that we're using, it's going to be part of the function. It's going to be part of the whole. But I'm just looking at that it's a trial run, that if you can't go anywhere without your mask, right? And now we have stepped it up a bit where if you're not vaccinated, you can't travel to a next country, especially the US, coming November. You can't even hold a job because, there are some companies so far they have 80% of them workers is vaccinated. And still the 20%, you'd say, well, 80, them that's like majority and it's only but at the same time you're pressuring the 20. And there's like this big war on Facebook. I see people posting up about vaccinated and unvaccinated, like this is war, and there's people slandering one another, and I'm like, it's just chaos to me. It's crazy, and I'm saying to me, it's like, as I say, it's like a trial run to test to see how we will conform and how we will behave, basically, when that time comes with a mark. When that, whatever you can pick sense out of nonsense. What I'm saying, pretty much. That's a thing. It come back to conditioning, man. Like all of it is the same thing. Every one of them is the same thing. Conditioning your mind how to think, whether it's true. And I'm not saying that people are not, because I'm educated, as in I have my degree, so I'm not going to tell nobody like don't go to school. I know people like to preach that, don't go to school. School, school is this, is school is that. Like I won't tell you that because school help a lot of people. If it wasn't for schooling, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't achieve all what I've achieved now. It wouldn't, I mean, I'm not rich, but I was before, like, the look back how extremely poor I was. Like, we couldn't even afford clothes. We couldn't even afford slippers. We never have food. Like, I used to drink water and go on my bed. Everybody know them life there. You see me when I'm hungry, bed, water was the thing. That was real life, you know what I mean? A whole heap of things I can tell you. I mean, my story is out there, like no secrets. It's out there, so people know. But definitely schooling has helped. But definitely you have to be mentally strong. You have to be a critical thinker to get, to get what they're saying, and you just put it on the paper for passing sake, but you filter it out. A matter of fact, I want to tell you this. When I entered UA, see my friend here, Roxanne, big up yourself. When I entered UA, and it was so funny, every lecturer in the history department, this was the first thing that they said. It was just so funny. They're like, forget about what you learn in high school, forget about what you learn in college. This is the real deal. It was just so funny. We were looking at each other like, so you're telling me the history that I learned in high school, I should forget about it? That's what they told us, no lies. They were like, forget about it. That's not the real stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm giving you some information. Like for those who never get opportunity to get to go university, I always say, like, what them teaching at school, I can tell you now. Them tell you forget about that. Them tell us any real stuff. And then of course when you leave university and you start read different books, you start to realize that certain things were missing too from because they can't teach everything, and they have to follow a syllabus as well. They have to follow a conditioning as well. Everybody's on them different agenda. Everybody's doing their own thing. So you can't depend on these entities to train and teach you. They're just there as a stepping stone in a life's journey. Them is just there, to give you certain knowledge. But when it comes to wisdom, and the Bible tell you about wisdom, it's a wisdom now is when they can be able to take all of this knowledge and information and apply it in a life and see where it makes sense. So anything where you learn, you can apply. Even nature itself, like certain things that I see people arguing over, right? To me, nature have answered the question. Like I'm not sure. Like as I said, people might say they don't believe in the Bible, and the Bible said this and the Bible said that. But even nature itself, of course, things are changing in nature, to be honest, because of the human involvement. But the basics of it have always remained to show you certain things. So of course, global warming, all those things have a major effect on nature and a change up a lot of things. And we see things that which even come back to humans in terms of how far we have moved from, God, and moved from where God tells we how to be. Because we are so deep now that, the Bible always tell us, say, we want to wake up and find that basically what wrong, I don't seem right, and what right, I don't seem wrong. And we're seeing it happen all over because more time, as the most popular set of people, sometimes are the people who are criminal or people who are doing bad. And you say to yourself, so like, is no one seeing this? Like, how are we following negativity? Like, why aren't we following somebody who's negative? Why is the positive person though have the most followers? Sometimes I ask that, but I know I live in the real world, and no matter how that person promote themselves and do all the things that people always say, market and whatever, they're still just not as popular. Their message get died down, or their music get died down, or the movies, for example. I remember I was even following like Adam Sandler, and I hear that he's not very popular in Hollywood because he does a lot of family-oriented movies. Have you heard that one? Like, what's wrong with that? If he does family-oriented, like they make it sound like it's something bad. It's just crazy to me. So Roxanne is saying it's programming others for the real thing. Basically, that's what I'm saying. It's programming, your program. And I know definitely when the pandemic is over, you can't tell me that your behavior has not changed. Even though I tell you it's not affecting me because I'm introverted myself, like this is my normal normal behavior, but I still believe that after the pandemic, I'm going to see changes in myself as well, because there's no way on earth can there be this drastic, movement of behavior and I don't change. Like, I'm always have to try to remember when is curfew, when is quarantine, when is this. Like, I have to be keeping abreast. Like, you can't just, normally I would just get up, right? And I want a tin of milk, and I just go down the shop, right? It doesn't matter the time. If it's at 10, 11 o'clock, I would just get, can we just feel it right now? I know that the shop always open. We just, but no, that changed. Sheldon Smith, pick up yourself. Roxanne, you know it though. I'm always a house rat. Yeah, I've always been like, no, has not changed. Like and it's not that I don't enjoy going out. I actually enjoy traveling. I try to be like being around people, believe it or not. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy, all of those things. But at the same time, like if I was to adapt, like oh, the situation exists where we have to be in our yard, me not a problem. Like me there in my yard. Like even sometimes my neighbors would be like, yo, a long time I don't see you. And I just write this to them living on. I say, a long time I don't see you. Like, yo, come out, you have to come out and show your face more while. And I'm like, all right, a real thing, Because yes, yeah, you have to come out, come show your face. And then, I'm writing and all them things and people know about it, like it's not a secret anymore in my community. So people are saying, oh, you need to come home, I will see you. Like, like that. Sheldon, pick up yourself. You know what I mean? So definitely, you got to be careful of the conditioning. And I hope Roxanne, you speak on this. I know you always keep your service and stuff like that. I hope you can, drop some biblical scriptures because I always watch Roxanne. You guys can check her out. She and her husband, basically their service and stuff. I hope you guys talk about this because I think this is a big topic, in terms of conditioning, like how people are going to behave after the pandemic and how their mindset is. And definitely, like the things that we're watching. Obviously, I don't want to curtail or condition people what to watch. I'm just putting it out there that you got to be careful what you watch because it's affecting you. It's affecting your whole being. Sometimes you'll be like, should have on a roll. Them that have to put you on lockdown, you lock down yourself long time. Real time. You ain't got locked down long time, man. Of course, most definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so be like that, Roxanne, definitely. Big up. And what am I doing when I'm locked down, guys? Yeah, I find things productive to do. I read, I have like work to do, cooking, the world works. I do all of those things. I get to write. But I fact, it's like this season, you all can agree, like this is one of my best seasons. Like things are happening crazily because interviews, performance, nominations in different things, like that happened, like, but it seems the lockdown because I've had more time to do, certain things now that I didn't have time to do before. And I'm not the only person. I hear a lot of people tell me like the amount of things that they get to accomplish right now. I know people who had subjects and courses that them put off, and it's now them finish because them find the time to do it. It's just interesting. So I mean, it have it positive and it has it negative. You will have to find that balance. And most definitely, people have been messaging me like I'm a therapist or something. Like people have been telling me that they're bored. Them don't know what to do with themselves. Them don't know themselves outside of work. How many people have been having that issue? Right? They're so accustomed to, get up, the usual routine work, and they do that probably 5 to 6 or 7 days of the week. The few time that they had to be home, them was the most miserable. People are telling me like them didn't know what to do. Them find out that them don't have no hobby. Them find out that like them almost don't have no life outside of work, and it was stressing them out. It was driving them, literally crazy because they had time to see themselves. They had time to be introspective, and it wasn't a good feeling for them. But I would tell them that this it's not a bad thing. It's good because guess what? We're not machines, and it's good to sometime you will need peace of mind, and there will be times when you have to go with self. Like more while me hear my mother talk to herself, I'm say, "Mommy, why you talk?" And she say, "Me I talk to myself." And she will hear me and she say, "Why you talk?" I'm say, "Me I talk to myself too." And other people might say, "Oh, this is madness." Actually, You can do a research on it, and they say that it is not madness as people view it. That when you're talking to yourself, it's not madness. It's actually very normal. It's actually very human to do it, because we are spiritual beings, and we have to speak. You have to sometimes like do something. Like, have you ever done that? Like, have you ever said something to someone, and then you sat down and you said to myself, yo, I shouldn't have said that to that person. I really hurt them feelings. I've done that. Introspection is definitely something good. The only thing I don't like is what going on is people start scorning each other. Yeah. It does. The pandemic, the COVID-19 definitely put us on a certain guard, and I got a big break that up. So I recently went to market, right? Downtown market. For those who are not from Jamaica, downtown market is the market to go, right? We have not been down there for years. I live in Portmore. Portmore is expensive. Roxanne, you know this very well. Portmore is too expensive. Nobody can survive with Portmore prices. Those prices are not normal. I don't know where those prices come from on food and everything. They must think there be rich people live here. I don't know where them come from. So anyways, I go to market, right? And me never really want to go, because every time I go, I always sneeze and those things. And my concern was I don't want to sneeze, because a dangerous place that to sneeze. But I did sneeze, but guess what? I just I'm glad nobody never hear me, because have you heard about that long time case when the COVID-19 just came out? That gentleman who, I think it was St. Elizabeth, and he was a farmer, and him sneezed and everybody in the bus beat him. I thought that was so crazy and inhumane. They beat him. I think up to now the man still, them say him still in pain. There are more, because he was a elderly man. I think man was in him 50th or 60th. It was just too crazy. You know what I mean? Let me see what Roxanne said. Maybe more expensive than when I left. So it never expensive when I was living here. We Roxanne, like, things not expensive. You know, think things expensive, from light, water, food. I mean, to me, it have always been expensive. Yes, it got more expensive because things. I think the whole world is going through that, but I think Portmore prices is always beyond anybody else's price. Like, for example, if you are buying yam from somebody I don't own and them say 130 for a white yam, in a Portmore, just know say $300 you pay or more. No lies there, so. I saw Roxanne said something else. I'm not seeing it. I saw they post something. I'm not seeing it. Right? Tashana Fabs, pick up yourself. I misinterpret what you said. Yes, very expensive, but I am saying it should be more expensive now because I left like 3 years ago. So can you imagine the price? Not to mention light. Like, the cost of light, that's a whole discussion that maybe I need to talk about that God's willing next week, to talk about electricity and theft and what the JPS is saying. Like, that's chaos. I see my friend just come on, Tashana, but guys, I'm not going to be on here too long. You see me? I really come to spend some time with you guys, and I really appreciate so many people coming out and commenting and engaging. You can definitely always reach out, and you can always comment below, like, anything that you want me to talk about. I mean, if I have knowledge on it, I'm going to talk about it. If I don't, I will let you know, and I will do research on it. But I'll also let you know, like, if I don't like to talk about things that I have limited knowledge on. I mean, I might talk about it, but I don't know if I can give like a good opinion on it. Like, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? But definitely, I hope that you learned a lot from this about condition. I hope that moving forward, you will not just listen to my life and be like, yeah, I agree with you. You will actually take it into practice, in the sense that you would probably start notice certain things that you watch down, certain things you eat, Like your body is a temple, and you got to protect your temple. It's just like your home. And I mean, you're not gonna leave your home open for anybody to just barge in. You're gonna protect your home. That's why we have grills and stuff like that. So see your body is the same way. Like your body is to be guarded, right? So you're not going to be treating your body any way. You're not going to be eating anything. You're not going to be watching anything. As some you see it. So you just be careful what you're watching, what you're consuming. And of course, don't feel guilty because I said I used to grow up watching a lot of horror movies, a lot of, I no longer watch horror movies anymore. I no longer watch Alfred Hitchcock anymore because I mean there's just some levels to it. And it's not helping my system basically. You know what I mean? So yeah. So definitely you can always so I'm going to log off. So once again, thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. Big up everybody. You can always, have some links on my Facebook. For those who have not read the interviews, you can always share it. I will encourage you to share it. It will inspire someone. And someone out there who is a poet or a writer, you can always link those individuals who have interviewed me. They are very friendly. You have to market your own products. You have to put your work out there. If you have access to social media, don't just come on and just waste time. Use it as a business, use it to get your things out there. People are on more than ever. So especially in this pandemic, you can use it to do a whole heap of things. I never think I would be doing this like virtual show or virtual performance. Like every person will reach out now, oh, I want you to do a performance. They don't know virtual. Like at first I was like, man, I don't know with this virtual thing. But now I'm thinking like it's not too bad, right? So you utilize it. Also I'm using StreamYard. So and I'm using this thing called Logi. My camera is Logi. So if you want, like I don't remember how much I paid for it. I don't remember. But I did save up my money. Logi, I think it's like $30, 30 US or something like that. It's you can see that the quality is very good. It's actually a webcam. So, you can just use some simple technology to enhance your work. Not everybody is going to be able to be affording all those top-notch brands and big technology and stuff. So if you have a little thing, you work with it, and you take your time and, improve. Or you can use your phone. Like a lot of people I know them have iPhone now. An iPhone like big on, utilizing certain things. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. I really appreciate it. You have a God bless day, safe day. And just stay healthy. Like that's what I'm praying for. Stay healthy. Follow the protocols as much as you can. Like right now, a life me a push. Me I say life over death. Like life for everybody. And I mean, I want that's what I want to hear. More life. So big up.